Hello friends, welcome back to the class. You must be wondering why I have this background behind me. It almost is like I'm underwater and there is some bubbles coming up. That is because today is the class where we are going to learn about the different sorting algorithms which you must and should know as a programmer. Because you know, sorting is a very fundamental operation in any computer application, right? What does sorting mean? Arranging something. Arranging something in the ascending order or in the descending order is called as sorting. And many a times you will have to sort things. For example, sorting the employees based on a certain criteria in a company, sorting, the integer values given to you, sorting the salaries of certain employees, sorting the marks of certain people. Sorting plays a huge role. So naturally you must also know certain sorting based algorithms, right? So let's start with the most basic sorting algorithm which you must know, which is nothing but the bubble sort, right? How does this bubble sort work? Watch it and please understand. Let me take an example. Let us assume like this is an array which is given to me, okay? And inside this array there is some data, and obviously arrays have index positions associated with them. Now the values inside the array, I'm assuming it to be, okay, I'm calling the array as ARR. Inside the array I have these values. So let me show you the values. 7, 3, 5, 9 and 2. These are the values. As you can clearly see, they are not sorted. Neither is it in the ascending order nor is it in the descending order. But at the end of the execution of my program, these elements must be in the ascending order. And for that there is a step-by-step procedure or an algorithm called as the bubble sort algorithm. Just like bubbles, right? Always, usually the largest bubble is what will bubble and come to the top. That is what, as you can see, when bubbles are coming, it's always the largest bubbles which will always be on the top, right? Something similar to that, in every iteration of this sorting algorithm, whichever is the largest element in the array will bubble and come to the front. Oh really, Rohit, how, you may ask? Let me show you practically. In my first iteration, these are the same elements, no difference. So indexes, these are the elements, and yeah, our ARR is the reference, this is the thing. Now what I will do is, in my first iteration, I am going to assign j to the beginning of my array. I will assign j to the beginning. As you can see, j is in the start. Now j's value is to keep moving forward, and ultimately by the time j reaches the end, whichever is the highest element should bubble and come to the start. It should come to this position. And clearly you can notice the highest element here is 9, and that is what should bubble and come to the front. Any confusion till this point of time? Now how are we going to do this? This is the bigger question. Very simple. Watch it. I will compare jth value, whichever element j is referring to, and the j plus 1 value. I will compare them. And I will see if this is greater than this. If this is greater than this, in this case, yes, it is greater, then I will swap them. That is what I will be doing. See, I swapped them. Then j moves forward. Again, the same process repeats, where I am going to compare the jth element and the j plus 1 element, and I will check if this is greater than this. Oh yes, 100% 7 is greater than 5, which means swap them, exchange their positions, which is what I am also doing. Similarly, next j moves forward. After j moves forward, again compare the jth element and the j plus 1 element. See if this element is greater than this. No, it is not greater, which means I will not swap. So I hope the condition for swapping is clear to you. Then obviously j is again going to move one step forward. And when j moves forward, as you can see, it is 9 and 2, j and j plus 1, which I should be comparing, and that is what I will compare. And is 9 greater than 2? Yes. Yes means exchange or swap, and that is exactly what I am doing. 2 and 9, I will swap them. Any confusion till this point of time? See, I have done that. So I hope it is crystal clear to all of you. And yes, my array did not get sorted, but definitely the highest element, the largest element has bubbled and come to the beginning. I hope this much is clear to everybody who is attending the class, right? But obviously sorting is not done. which means whatever we did, this process must be repeated, which means first iteration is over. Now let's proceed to the second iteration. That is what we have to do, and that is what I am also showing you. We are going to the second iteration now. And 1 second. Now tell me, I'll just take J back. Tell me one thing, J came till here, guys. Now technically you please think and tell me, should J move one step forward? Should this happen? If you really understood, tell me, should J go till the end or should it stay at the second last element in my first iteration? Who can tell me? Put a yes if you think J should move till the end. Put a no if you think J has to stop. Yes, most of you are saying no, which means you're absolutely right, because think about it. What is the duty of J? J's duty is to compare J and J plus 1 element. Where is this plus 1? There is no plus 1 element because you are at the end, which means now J is fine, J plus 1 is not there. It will be a mistake. So as you can see, there is no element there. So that we should avoid at all cost. Is why at any cost, J should only move to the second last element, which is what I am also showing by bringing J back to this index 3. I hope till here I am crystal clear, right? So guys, in my first iteration, J moved till the second last element, but it is not done. My duty is not done. I have not yet completely sorted, which means this process must be repeated, which is what I am also just trying to show. And see, I am marking 9, largest element has come to the beginning. Fine. Now let's continue the process. Now again, in the second iteration, J again comes back to the beginning of the array. So it will come back to 0. Now same process you repeat. Compare J and J plus 1 element. See if this element is greater than this, and that is what I am also just showing you like this. Obviously 3 is not greater than 5. Should I swap them? Definitely not. So I will keep it as it is. I will move J forward. Next, I will compare J and J plus 1 element, which is nothing but 5 and 7. No swapping is required. J and J plus 1 element, 7 and 2. Yes, here 7 is greater than 2, which means please exchange their positions. After which again J moves forward, but should it move forward? No, because you know automatically 7, which is the largest element, has bubbled and come, and in the previous iteration you know the largest element is the last element here. So why should you again compare these two? It will be meaningless. So J should stop here. Would you agree with me? How to write code such that J dynamically can be coded in a way where it figures out its stop. We will realize, we will understand that, but I hope the second iteration is clear. But even now it is not completely sorted, which means one more iteration is required, and that is what I am also doing. So here again J comes back to the original position 0, after which compare J and J plus 1 element. 3 is not greater than 5, don't touch it, move J forward. After which next 5 and 2 you compare. Yes, 5 is greater than 2, which means 100% you must be swapping their positions. That is what I am also just showing here. See, 2 and 5 I have swapped. Then again 5 is the largest element. It has bubbled. Why should I move forward? Because previous iteration 7 has come here. Previous iteration 9 has come here. So J should stop here. Beautiful, isn't it? Even now it is not completely sorted, is why the next iteration I will perform. Again J comes to the beginning, and obviously it has to compare these two elements. Yes, 3 is greater than 2, which means please exchange their positions, which is what I am also showing, right? And ultimately 3 would have come, bubbled and come to the front. So you can see in every iteration, highest element came, second highest element came, third highest element, fourth highest element. Naturally we have got it in the ascending order. This is only bubble sort. What is so difficult about this? Now all you have to figure out is, this process is repeating. Totally 4 times it has repeated. So don't you think this process should be within a loop? So there should be an outer loop, inside that there should be an inner loop. These are those inner loop operations, but this looping should be governed by that outer loop. So what is the condition of that outer loop? Let us assume the outer loop is going to be I. From where should I begin? Where should I end? This is the larger question. Let me give you the answer for that. It's very simple. Let us assume I is the loop to govern these iterations, and here see 0, 1, 2, 3. I begins from 0, goes till 3. How can I write this in general is the question. It's very simple. I can write it like this, I equal to 0 until 3 if I have to write, then I will write it as I less than n minus 1, because n is nothing but the number of elements. How many elements? 5. I should go till 3. n minus 1 means 5 minus 1 is 4. Yes, 0 is less than 4, 1 is less than 4, 2 is less than 4, 3 is less than 4. Yes, I less than n minus 1. How many of you understood this perfectly? Put a yes in the chat if you really understood. How many of you understood this? Clear to everyone? Good, good. So full stomach, don't eat and come and then sleep in class. Okay. Next thing is with respect to what should happen inside every iteration of the I loop. Now there should be one more loop which is taking care of this, and you know who takes care of this is j. Now j value you can see in the first iteration goes till 3, next iteration goes till 2, next iteration goes till 1, next iteration goes till 0. So it is 3, 2, 1, 0. Now how do we write this in general is the bigger question. Well, it's very simple. How I would write it is, I would always want to correlate it with this n value, which is nothing but the number of elements. So what I can also write it as, see, don't you think this is the same, guys? Saying that 3, 2, 1, 0 is nothing but telling j is less than 4, less than 3, less than 2, less than 1. Don't you think it is the same as that? I can say this. Now if I can say this, now this 4, 3, 2, 1, I would like to correlate it with the number of elements, and you know how many elements do we have? 5 elements. So how will you write this, you might ask? It's very simple. I can write that as like this: 5 minus 1, 5 minus 2, 5 minus 3, 5 minus 4. I can write it this way. Now this 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 is nothing but the n value. But that 1, 2, 3, 4, I would like to write it in general, such that every time dynamically j will know till where it should move. Now how can I write this? It's very simple. I would like to write the condition like this: j less than n minus I minus 1. What do you mean, you might ask? N is 5, 5 minus I is 0, minus 1 is the same. Would you agree? So here also it is 4, 5 minus 0 minus 1 is also 4 only. 5 minus I is minus 1 minus 2. I hope I'm clear. 5 minus 1 is 4, and you will get the same thing. You will get the same. 5 minus 2 is 3. There also you will get 3 only. Here also 5 minus 2 minus 3, you will get same 2 only. 5 minus 3 minus 4, you will get the same value only. Hope you're able to think, which is 1. So don't you think this can be written as j less than n minus I minus 1? How many of you would agree that this condition works? If you understood, put a yes. How many of you agree? Understood? So I hope the condition of the outer loop is clear, the condition of the inner loop is clear. This is only bubble sort, my dear friends. Now all that is pending for us is to go write the code for this. So let's go do that. So understand this carefully. Okay. So here maybe this one part we can just remove it so that there is space for the code. Cool. Now let's write the code here. Let me bring up my editor, in this case which is Eclipse. So yeah, I have called this class as sorting. That is the name I've given the class, sorting. This is my main function. So we will be learning multiple algorithms today. So first is bubble sort. For that I will just create a function and keep it ready on top. I will call it as static. What ultimately this function should return is a sorted array. So I will tell static, what it should return is an integer array. So I will tell integer array like this. Right? And of course, name I'll call it as bubble sort using camel conventions. And what bubble sort usually will accept is this array. That is what it should accept. So I will just call it as AR, yeah, and integer array it is. Okay, cool. Now inside this what to write we will see, but before that I'll just come inside and I will create one scanner and keep it ready. So I will tell new scanner, control space, everything will get come. Okay, good. System.in, and then next I will come below. So yeah, also I've imported it. Next I will come below, and there what I will do is first I will ask the number of elements from the user. So I will just tell scan.nextInt. that I'll store it in a variable called as n, because n is very important to us, number of elements. Now I need to create an array of that size n. So I'll tell new integer array size 5, size n, and I will give it a reference AR. Awesome. Now I'll just write a loop which can take this value. So I'll just tell for int I equal to 0, I less than AR dot length I plus plus. See the beauty of editors, they automatically give you code. Inside that I will just tell scan dot next int and that I will store it in AR of I. Awesome. Now I'll call that bubble sort. And whatever it returns, right, that I am going to store it back in the same reference AR. I want it to be sorted. Okay, we will store it in we'll store it in the same thing itself. Fine, AR itself. So you can remove that integer because it will become duplicate. Yeah. Why? Because I want the original array only to be sorted. And those of you who have actually gone to the LMS and understood that concept of pass by value and pass by reference in Java know exactly what will be happening in this line. Hope you're able to think, right? So ultimately what you call as this AR, what you call as this AR and what you call as this AR are all pointing to the same array. The multiple arrays are not created in the memory. Again, I don't want to go into the concept, that is why the LMS has been provided to you. Anyways, I will go here and now inside this what I would like to do is I will just, basically I'm going to now apply this logic. So for, first the outer loop, int I equal to 0. I less than, n minus 1, that is the final condition. Okay, AR dot length, because we don't have n is nothing but the size, so AR dot length minus 1. And I plus plus. Now inside that I will come and now the J loop. So I will tell for int j less than AR dot length, that is the wrong condition. We have found the condition, it is nothing but n minus I minus 1. And guys, don't put that bracket. If you put the bracket in code, you will get wrong answer, because see that minus I and it will become plus 1, because minus into minus is plus, right? So don't put brackets, just write like this, AR dot length minus I minus 1, which is nothing but n minus I minus 1. Am I clear till here? Now I'll go inside this, and of course now comes the checking. Is jth element greater than the j plus 1 element? That's what I'll write. If in case AR of j is greater than AR of j plus 1. Now inside this what I will be doing is swapping you should do, and using a temporary variable you can swap. So I'll tell int temp, and first whatever is there in AR of j I will give it to temporary variable. Next whatever is there in j plus 1 I will give it to AR of j. Simple code, swapping two values using third variable. Then whatever is there in AR of j AR of j plus 1 I'll assign whatever is there in temp. That's it, simple. Okay, so at the end sorting would have happened, and here what I should return is nothing but AR. In fact, there is no need for us to return, technically speaking, because here we are telling yes we have to return an integer array, but ultimately since we are doing pass by reference, it should not be an issue, because ultimately we are referring to the same array. But okay, that should not matter. I'll tell void, okay, see, and I will remove that, because guys what you must understand is what you are passing AR is nothing but a reference to this array. The same address is collected, go on top, by this AR. This is a local variable here, but it is also working on the same array. So ultimately sorting would have happened. There is no need for you to return anything, because they are working on the same array. That is the beauty of pass by reference, which you must go and learn if there is a confusion. Let me just check. How many of you actually understood what I meant by pass by reference? Put a yes in the chat if you really understood what I meant. Be honest to me. Understood? Okay, only a few people. Okay, whatever. Little bit, okay. Little bit. Fine. Let's go. Let's move forward. So till here, I hope I'm clear. Now all you have to do is, you don't have to collect anything. You just have to go here and you have to print. So copy this for loop, paste it again. Inside I will just print AR of I. One space. So same line it will come. So element space, awesome. Let's go execute this and check, okay. So if in case I go back, I will put in the relevant command. So compilation, no problem. Execution, if I do, then I'll put, yeah, so give some data, no problem. Okay. If I press enter, so 14789, it has got sorted. Now, I want sorting to happen in descending order. This is in ascending order. I want it in descending order. Go back to the code and tell me what is the one change I have to do if I want it in descending order. What should I do? Tell.
For loop, says Sanjay.
For loop, okay. What in for loop?
If condition says Bharatanagar.
Okay, go on top. So, okay. So if I scroll on top, as you can see, all you have to do is, here you are checking greater than. If this is greater than this, swap. But here I will change that and make it as less than, like this. That's it. So if this is less than this, you will swap. So obviously greater one will come first, smaller will come second. It will become in descending order. That's all you have to do. So let's see if that works. So I'll go and I will re-execute. So $15,984. So descending order. So you know sorting now. At least one algorithm you know, right? But there are two more algorithms we are going to be learning. We are going to also be learning the insertion sort. We are also going to be learning the selection sort. So these three compulsorily you must be knowing. But I hope this is crystal clear to you.